That's right. Greetings, fellow Armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Mickeyfan.
And Ace Astro.
And welcome to the live results show for So You Want to Be an Imagineer, Season 18, the Great Literature Ride Project. And it's a double elimination, guys.
Yes.
It's a double elimination.
Crazy.
hang on. I've had this.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's see. So, welcome to another edition of Tiki's Frontiers, the drama, the musical. Today we will find the answers to all of the fans' deepest, most burning questions. Is Mickeyfan ready to make a jump to Tiki's C tier? Will Joker ever make the climb to S tier with his mom so desperately trying to hold him back? And most importantly, will Tiki admit that he ranks his friends in hopes that they'll rank their friends too, hoping he can be in as many S tiers as possible? All will be as revealed in this episode. And we'll talk about some Imagineering stuff probably. Well, you caught me. I do secretly hope that we just have a whole, I just want to be on as many S tiers as possible. You caught me.
The dream, right?
All right, so guys,
I think I'm making a case to be at least C tier.
I think you're at least C tier at this point, Mickeyfan, at least.
Oh. Congrats, Mickeyfan, you made it.
Oh God, at least. Oh God. Corvin Hartwick. Who is Corvin Hartwick?
Me.
Oh, that's you. Okay, he keeps ignoring where I am on the tier list. Convenient. Well, Ace. I would say we would have to. I don't know. We'll have to C. I'll give you a C.
Oh, let's go, Mickeyfan. We've made it together.
I'll give you a
already a great podcast.
It's only going to get better.
All right, so guys, it's double elimination time amongst the greatest project of the season. I think this is. I think I agree with Mickeyfan that this is very much one of the best, if not the best, project of the season. And we're going to have to eliminate two people.
I said this is the best Prospero project and one of the best of the season entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're going to go through the whole project and recap it. And as we're going through, American Idol style, we're going to announce who is safe. And then at the end of that, we'll have the three people nominated for elimination, which will ultimately come down to only one person of those three making it out alive. So get nervous, get pumped, everybody. Of course, we have to acknowledge two people right off the bat who are safe. I've just got to give a big shout out to Dash Happer because he really stepped up to the plate. And honestly, I think
this was his come to Jesus moment.
No disrespect to anyone else, but I love all the feedback he gave. That was what I really think set him apart.
Yeah, this was absolutely Dash's standout moment. kind of at the last possible second, but this was absolutely Dash's standout moment.
Yeah, so Dash, don't worry, as project leader, it is hypothetically possible for you to be eliminated, but that's not happening this round.
Only with a monumental fuck up.
Right. The other person who is safe is, of course, Goofy Yuck Yuck, who has Pomvp, so he automatically advances to the final six. Congrats, Goofy Yuck Yuck. All right, let's talk some project before we announce the next person who's safe, shall we? I bet you're loving this, Ace, right?
No joke. I was like, this is so close. Earlier today, I was like, oh, I'm being on the podcast. I better think of something to say if I get eliminated here. It's like, I don't even know who's going home. It's that close. Everyone's so solid.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, guys, let's move on to first of all, I want to acknowledge the intro because the intro is just one of the most inspired things.
I when I talk about, the fitting the presentation into the project and matching them up, this kind of shit is what I'm talking about. Like,
Right.
this would not have worked for a different kind of project, but it worked so well here.
Definitely.
Yeah, my only gripe with it is that I think it was a missed opportunity to not have to not have Penelope Toothsome as the female adventurer.
And it fits into their Pharaoh's backstory. I'm not too fussed. I would have appreciated a Penelope Toothsome shout out, but I'm not 100% fussed about it being Pharaoh's.
All right. But yeah, overall, just the amount of detail that was put into setting the stage and just kind of like, go ahead.
I mentioned this in my review, but this reads like a legend.
It does. It absolutely does.
It reads like a fairy tale.
It kind of reads like a Disney-fied version of The Lighthouse.
A bit. Yeah. But, I loved reading this intro. It was, and it gets you into the mood for the project itself.
Indeed, and it just kind of transitions so well into into the exterior and queue, which then transitions very well into the actual ride. So, by all accounts, you guys are really kind of just making this an all immersive experience, from that legend straight through into the queue itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just such a good, and it's well thought out. That too, I think that that little story is just so well thought out and really effective. Like, don't expect to be rooting for the main character of the intro to an Imagineering project.
All right. So what I love about the library is just how naturally it gets more dense and mysterious. It kind of starts out as like an average library, and then it just kind of like just goes on, and it kind of slowly weaves you into it.
And I can just imagine the amount of Easter eggs and shout outs that they just tuck in there.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Oh. And this fucking pre-show. Oh my god. Oh my god. You're going to be hearing this a lot. I just loved how simple it was. Like, there's nothing really massive about this. It's some basic illusions, some basic lighting effects, maybe a bit of projection mapping here
I think that's what makes it so cool. It's the fact that it's so stripped down.
Yeah. I think that, and the chronicler just is a delightful character.
Oh yeah.
Like, he very much reminds me of Dreamfinder.
You know what? I think he's a perfect combination of Dreamfinder and the Page Master without really feeling like a ripoff of either of them.
Yes, that's a great way to describe him.
So Dash Aber found a happy medium with him.
Absolutely. And he's just a really fun character, honestly. Like, he's this super wise, but you kind of get the sense that, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a little fun with these people.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Also, The Haunting of Hill House was a great that was a great deep cut. I appreciated that. So, chapter 3, all the queue and ride vehicles. I will say probably the least creative thing about this whole project for me was the trackless ride vehicles. And I don't say that in any sort of negative way. I just say it in terms of like, I feel like trackless is maybe becoming just a tiny bit of a crutch right now.
Yeah, I agree to a point.
Yep.
But there's big but.
Okay.
And I cannot lie. I think that so much of the trackless ride shenanigans fit into what they were doing with this ride so well.
It does.
That I'm not mad about it being trackless.
And I'm not mad about it either. And I still gave creativity a 10 out of 10. So
absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, trackless is almost a safe bet, but at the same time, Great Movie Ride was technically trackless, so it's also almost an homage to what this prompt was based off of what the original ride is.
True.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to have to go ahead and announce the first person who is safe. Drum roll, please. I'm going to have to announce the winner of the POMVP. So this person is not only safe, but they also advanced to the semifinals. It's Outbound.
Nice.
To no one's surprise, honestly. Because Outbound was, if I remember, he was the one who did that prologue and epilogue. And he did a couple other things I think I really liked. Yeah. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, and I mean, Outbound set up the whole story element to it, right? So that it just all flowed perfectly together instead of, here's the intro and then, okay, well, let's jump to the queue and everything like that.
Yeah.
So Outbound was the one who started it into that sense of, let's make it all flow together like that.
All right, so guys, I need to point something out about Outbound status right now. So, of course, now that he has POMVP for the final 6, Outbound is guaranteed to be in the final 5. And Outbound's secret power that he still has is still in play. He doesn't need it. Somebody else might.
Get buddy with Outbound, people.
That's all I'm
going to say. I'll get you the top 4.
That's all I'm going to say. Outbound holds a lot of power right now. I can't say exactly what that power is, but I can say that he has the power to save you. So I'm sorry for calling this out, Outbound, but everyone knows about your power anyway, so I'm just kind of stating the facts here. That's all there is to it.
Make an alliance with Outbound, it probably won't screw you over.
All right, so Outbound, of course, becomes a big power player. Goofy Yuck already trying his hands.
Yeah.
Goofy Yuck wasted no time there.
All right. Okay, so let's see. Let's move on. What chapter are we on right now?
We are on after the pre-show.
Okay,
we're moving on to chapter 4 now, or you're in chapter 3, 4. I believe, with the pre-show still.
Oh, okay, well, let's talk about all these references.
This is
fantastic.
You appealed to me. Whoever did this, I think it was Dash. You appealed to me. You gave me Discworld. You gave me Coraline. You gave me Hercule Poirot. You gave me so much stuff that I love, and books that I love, and authors that I love. Dorothy Slippers and Excalibur, and I can keep going. Just stuff that I absolutely love that didn't make it into the ride, but that really, really helps, kind of flesh all this out.
Yeah.
Really solid stuff. Really solid stuff. All right. Oh, let's talk about the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang cars. That was a creative choice.
I wish that they had taken the next step and did variation in the vehicles. I don't know how 100% realistic that would be, but it would have been a touch that I would have loved.
Jay Gatsby's yellow motor car, that's all I'm saying.
But it's funny.
Gatsby's motor car, Baba Yaga's mortar. Keep going on these.
No, you got this. I'm putting you on the spot here.
Read my review. I gave a ton of ideas.
Yeah,
I do think that Chitty Chitty Bang Bang represents the adventure and kind of the port of call aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang is a solid car and everything like that. But when I saw your review that it was like, oh, some variations, it's like, how did we not think about that? That would have been, just a fun way of even rewritability, right? Because it's like, oh, I got the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car this time. Well, now I want to go on to get Gatsby's car and all these things.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Mickeyfan, should we announce another person who's safe? What do you think?
Why not?
Okay. Well, folks, the next person who is safe is a person who has been playing a pretty dominant game for a while now, and it's Joker's Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was Joker was all over this project. This was, and I feel like Joker is. I mean, he has just been playing so hard throughout the season, even though he's literally living in Japan.
Other side of the world, wouldn't even know it.
Right, you really wouldn't. I mean, he time manages himself so well. He dives into the projects he's passionate about, and he works with the projects that he's not passionate about.
Oh yeah.
And of course, I want to remind everyone, these are Dash Haber's nominations, not mine. So all these people that are safe, Dash made safe, not us. So that means that there's only 4 people on the board, and Ace, you're one of them. So we'll see what happens. Happens. All right. So let's go through. Let's see. Let's go through. Kind of jumped the gun on that one a little bit. Mickeyfan should have warned me.
Oh yeah. I lost track.
I know. I kind of lost track too. We had like an order of things.
Suspense. Let's just build up that suspense.
All right. So we're not going to announce. We're not going to announce the next person who's safe until the end of the chapters. All right. The end of the chapters. We're going to go through the rest of the chapters.
Or the end of the ride. Let's say that.
Well, the end of the ride. Yeah, good point. Good point. Thank you. All right. So mythology and fantasy. Just great stuff all around.
The presentation of the mythology scene, so freaking cool. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
And I just love the idea of like the statues of the gods coming to life.
It definitely would make for a big. It kind of reminds me of like a modern day footlight parade where it's like, okay, like this is this is something that would actually hold up and still have a spectacle to it.
Yeah. And then on to Smog and Bilbo, which I like this, but this seems like one of the more obvious.
I mean, I'm glad it's not Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. But it does feel like one of the more obvious choices in this ride, which
I
honestly,
personally would have gone for C.S. Lewis over Tolkien.
Yeah.
That being said, I do think that this is a very good scene on its own, though. Like in terms of adapting the scene for a theme park setting, I think you hit it out of the park, and I do think it works well for like an early wow moment. So in that context, I think it works.
And that's one thing that I absolutely love about this ride is how well it's paced.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. You have your wow moments, but like you have time to breathe between them, and the wow moments build on each other.
All right, so let's see. Next up, we have Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, right?
Yeah, honestly not what I would have chosen.
Really?
So I said it before, I'll say it again. Not what I would have chosen. I love Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I love Roald Dahl. I think that so much of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I think of the movie more than the book for the most part. So like, this entire scene I was basically thinking of the movies.
I didn't necessarily get that. One of the reasons I didn't get that is because kudos to them for putting a reference image to the illustration of Wonka.
Yeah, and I will say
that puts into my head that like I assume the animatronic of Wonka is going to look way more like this than Gene Wilder.
Yeah.
So that helped me kind of visualize it.
And it probably is just me, but it is something that.
And I do think the tunnel works fantastically well as a transition room.
Yeah.
Perhaps maybe it should have only been the tunnel as a transition.
Okay, but like I would have loved a trackless shenanigans scene through, a different fantasy environment. Like, I think that you could have.
Are you just bitter that you didn't get your big Discworld scene?
I am bitter that I did not get Ankh-Morpork.
Well, you should have just pushed it harder like Tiki with Great Gatsby.
Yeah, right? I was on them about Great Gatsby, dude. I mean, I really was relentless about that, probably more than I should have been. But
it works.
I just wanted to see death in a theme park attraction more so than Discworld in general.
All right. Okay. But I like I said, I do think that the tunnel makes for a great transition.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then we get to Sci-Fi and Horror. I believe this is written by Jokers, right?
Yes.
Oh my God, he knocked it out of the park. Jesus. This is absolutely his wheelhouse.
Yeah, I for one argue that I think the pacing kind of gets a little askew here.
I don't think so. I agree with what Joker said about it.
I get what he's saying, but I feel like, you go from the tunnel to the absolutely hilarious 42 scene. I feel like that could have been paced differently or pitched somewhat differently.
All right.
Fair.
But I do think that going from the 42 scene into War of the Worlds, into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde makes sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then from Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde into War of the Worlds, like that all makes sense.
This stretch of the ride that Joker's built is so smart, and like if if you really weren't paying attention or that you weren't giving
Joker's
it
is legitimately one of the most intelligent people that I know.
Oh, I believe that.
Like, just in terms of, like, he knows his shit about classical music. He knows his shit about literature. Like, you know, like, he is well read on many things.
I 100 believe that. I think that, and the pacing of this section is so well done. And how smoothly every single scene transitions into the next.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, next up we have Oh, by the way, yeah, the Call of Cthulhu and Pet Cemetery, also wonderful choices.
Yeah.
Pet Cemetery was the most bold IP choice of the entire thing.
Probably.
But I think it works really well, and I'm really glad that Stephen King gets representation in this ride.
And I think that was the key, right? It was that it's hard to have a horror section without having Stephen King in.
Totally.
And like, it feels like the alien scene from Great Movie Ride.
Yes.
Definitely.
Where it does get a little darker.
Yeah.
Now, Call of Cthulhu, on the other hand, I like it in concept.
How are you going to do Cthulhu?
Yeah, I kind of wish that we would have. I kind of wish that you guys would have like explained the Cthulhu effect a little more.
Like how like, and like the thing about Cthulhu is that you see it and you go insane.
Right.
Literally, that is kind of the point of Cthulhu.
So yeah, I that one didn't. I think it was a cool pull, but it didn't necessarily land all that well for me. All right, adventure and romance.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the Arabian Nights scene went on maybe a little too long.
I agree with you. I feel like just Alibaba and the 40 Thieves would have worked just wonderfully on its own. And
I'm going to put an asterisk next to this, though, because one of my favorite projects to work on last season for Sorcerer's Apprentice was
1001 Nights.
1001 Nights. Yeah, so I might just be biased in terms of like, oh, that's a story that I've already worked on very closely with the past year or so.
Right. Really, it kind of moved away from 1001 Nights, but yes.
Right.
But like, I feel like you could have just done the Alibaba section and started it out with the finish yesterday's tale, Scheherazade, and then open sesame, and you have this really cool door opening effect. Like, I feel like that could have been a really, really cool wow moment.
Yeah. Door opening into Gatsby's mansion.
That too.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm glad I got my way on this.
But speaking of Gatsby, I really, really liked this romance section. I like how kind of simple it is.
Okay, I'm just going to say it. I think you guys absolutely nail Gatsby. The point of the novel, The Great Gatsby, I'm going to get all literary on you fools for a second, so I apologize. The point of The Great Gatsby is that on the surface, Jay Gatsby is like this big, great, larger-than-life man, and that's kind of, shown through the parties and the glitz and the glamour. But, and you guys do this quite well through two scenes, at the heart of Jay Gatsby, he is a lonely individual, a wistful soul wishing for something that he can never obtain. And man,
Fairway escape for Jay Gatsby.
All right, Mickeyfan. Good for you. I don't disagree. That said, I still relate to Jay Gatsby's plight with or without that subtext. So, anyways.
Oh, come on, old sport.
All right. They could have had a happy life together, Mickeyfan.
They could have.
I could.
I see nothing wrong with healthy polyamory.
God. So yeah, really, kudos for, and also I love that the eyes of T.J. Eckelberg are right over the loading area. That's also a great choice.
Yes, that was a really, really smart inclusion.
Because of course they would be. Of course they would be.
Like, that's just an iconic image.
Yeah.
I think the eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg is the best symbolism in any novel.
That is a bold claim, one that I don't necessarily disagree with, but a very bold claim.
All right. Next up, Ace, did you design this one?
I did. So historical epic is what I did.
Let's talk through it. Why don't you take the lead on this one, buddy?
All right. So I fought from the beginning to keep historical epic because lots of people wanted to cut it, but I was like, there's been so many huge books throughout historical epic that it would feel wrong not to include it more than, cutting it for whatever else we were talking about at that time. Adventure. No, we kept adventure. I don't remember what it was stuck between, but so, Les Mis is one of the greatest French books there was at that time and still is, right? So you can't not include Les Mis in some sort of scene. And then The Palace of the Three Kingdoms, which is still considered one of China's greatest books now. It, 2,300 pages or whatever it is. It was quite the thing to try and bring down to one scene here.
Yeah. And
but
you said you read through a bit of it.
Yeah, so
it's a trip, ain't it?
Yeah, so I got a Kindle version of it in the English translation to just make sure I understood the source material, and at least to some degree before writing about it. And whew, that's a wild book.
Yes.
That's like Les Mis I was fine with because I love all versions of Les Mis from the novel to the musical to the movie, so that one was easy. But Palace of the Three Kingdoms, I discovered when you said you want more than just, North American and European writers. It's like, okay, well, what can we do? Oh, Palace of the Three Kingdoms is so huge. Well, let's look into it more.
And that's honestly a big part of why I said, please don't stick to the Western canon. I wanted to see stuff like 1001 Nights and Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And further on from that,
need to check the TMNT reunion thread. Just saying. All right, I'm sorry. Ace, decisions are. Oh God, what's the room where it happened? What's the room where it happens line? Decisions that happen in Opa dinner.
I want to be in the room where it happens. I know how you feel.
Ace, you kind of are in the room where it happens, and Mickeyfan and I are kind of whispering behind your back at this point. Oh boy! All right,
we're
well,
behind
Ace,
the staircase, kind of plotting stuff out as we speak.
Okay, I'm just gonna be. Is that the end of the ride?
No, there's the finale. Yeah.
Okay, can someone please talk about that really quick so we can get to the nominations?
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good conclusion. Yeah.
It's okay. Oh God.
Conclusion.
It's a fitting conclusion for what the rest of the ride was, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
It just kind of wraps everything up in a nice little bow.
Exactly.
All right. So, Ace, this is our dilemma. You're one of the nominees, buddy.
Hold up. We still have one more person to say is safe.
And it's not Ace.
Not Ace.
I'm sorry. It's like no matter if I say that Nigel's safe or Ace is a nominee, it's the same result.
By the way, Nigel, you're safe.
Yeah, you're safe, Nigel. Okay, I'm going to be up front here. I'm just going to be completely transparent. TMNT had decided to eliminate Ace, but Ace, God damn you for coming on the podcast and making some really good points.
Talking through this section.
And honestly, Mickeyfan, like, he did exactly what you wanted.
He did.
So basically, Ace, here's the deal.
Yeah.
With Sharon and Susan, we feel that they've stepped up as project leader multiple times. That's their thing, is that they're project leader, right? Like, they're probably like the constant leader of the whole competition thus far.
Totally.
Ace, what do you bring to the table? What's your thing?
What's my thing? Well,
yeah.
I kind of just... So with this one, you guys were talking last podcast when I couldn't make it, how I hadn't had my wow moment, so I don't want to take it safe, right? So
I'd honestly argue this was something of a wow moment for you.
I mean, I went for that, right? I went with, instead of going with, and I mean, no disrespect to anyone else, instead of going with, science fiction where it was the European writers, I went with a 2,000-year-old Chinese novel that is considered the greatest novel of an entire country to put into a 45-second a 45-second segment of attraction. So I took a bigger risk than normal.
Okay. Mickeyfan, you need to... How would you counter against Sharon and Susan with the leadership point, Ace?
How would I counter against Sharon and Susan?
Yeah.
I mean, my easiest counter against that is you talk about how strong of a leader they are. And just last podcast, you talked about how our strongest point was me being the leader.
That is true. I do think that, you kind of bring some stuff in that could have gone.
Mickeyfan, I think we have to do it.
Hey.
I think we have to change our vote.
I do as well.
Ace, congratulations, buddy. You've made the final 6. That's a first, folks. That's a first.
Live. It happened live.
Ace, if you were not on this podcast, you would have been eliminated.
I'm glad I canceled my dinner plans then.
I mean, because you can understand how on the offset we're looking at this season and eliminations through the eyes of like a season-long resume, right?
Yeah.
And I think you did an excellent job, and I feel like everyone in the comments is also sticking up for you.
Yeah.
Space, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry.
We don't have enough challenges.
We have a schedule to adhere to, Space. And yes, Outbound, yes, that is true.
The gotcha moment would have been good there.
That was
Ace, I was not looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait. What? Outbound? Seriously?
No.
No, he can if he wants to. He can if he wants to.
Oh, he's nominating you guys.
Okay. Nominating us.
Fine, fair enough. All right, Outbound. Haha. Okay. Wow. So, guys, we have to take a moment. That was insane.
That was.
Sharon and Susan, I'm so sorry. I feel like Sharon and Susan was still, I will maintain, one of the most professional and just one of the best leaders of the season. There was no easy call for this at all.
You just heard it.
Like literally, as soon as Ace started talking, I was like, "Oh shit!"
I was thinking, oh, should we have done this?
Yeah, because Sharon and Susan, this is nothing against you. This is nothing against you.
No.
I
This
honestly really
was
hate
a
to
hard
do it.
decision, no matter who.
Yeah, it really was, and man, like honestly, I do feel like Sharon and Susan was one of my winner picks. I really do. So
I absolutely, I do think that Sharon and Susan was one of my, at the very least, in my top 3.
but Ace, you know what really cemented it for me, buddy?
What?
What cemented it for me is that when you started talking about the research that you had done.
Yes.
Like how you were literally like diving into the books and fighting for the source material. And that's all stuff like
Dude, you fucking killed this.
Hey, you said you wanted a different author, so I went out and found different authors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, Mickeyfan, honestly, like it with all due respect to Sharon and Susan, with all due respect, I kind of feel like an idiot for going with Ace in the first place. Like I feel like he slapped some sense into us.
Hindsight. He kind of slapped some sense into us.
Oh my god! Wow, guys, you guys are awesome. This season is awesome.
Yeah.
This cast is awesome.
Well, wait, we have a little more in this project to talk about.
Oh dear God! Oh man. Okay.
And we also have one more elimination.
Well, okay. I'm gonna get the other elimination out of the way right now because a couple people already know who it is.
Yeah.
So, well, I feel like by the powers of deduction, people can already guess. So let's bid a fond farewell to Monty Dicequick Navarro. Monty actually did drop out a couple days ago due to a personal schedule. So respect to Monty, nothing but respect. I feel like he was in that same league as Sharon and Susan where he could have really gone all the way. I liked him from the moment that I saw his screen name. I knew that we would be buddies.
Yes, same.
So in the end, we end up with Monty Dicequick Navarro in 8th place and Sharon and Susan in 7th place. You guys will be receiving your keys to Ponderosa shortly, where you will be joining the other jury members. And I can tell you guys that the jury is going to be playing a key role in the semifinals.
Yes.
A key role. So, yeah. All right. Okay, so the rest of it. I gotta be honest, I love the Backwater Bar. The Backwater Bar is fantastic. However, I think all the parties, even though they were really well conceptualized, by the end of it, I was kind of just like, all right, well, you guys are past the main point of the project. This kind of feels like filler. It's good filler. It's creative filler. But really, at the end of the day, it kind of feels like a mini version of the Adventurers Club project.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I like what this added to the project, though. I don't feel like the project would be lesser if it weren't there, but I do think that this was kind of the gravy.
That's a good way to describe it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No.
Okay.
It added.
And then, of course, the end, which should have been, I am Penelope Toothsome. Cinematic Universe. Universal Edition. Fucking throw in the villain from Poseidon's Fury.
Lord Darkenon.
So much.
He could be the Thanos.
Oh my god. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine the campy masterpiece that would be
Spit it out.
That would be the Chronicler and Penelope Toothsome and Jock.
Oh God!
Versus Lord Darkanon.
All right. Oh God. Okay, guys. I'm gonna read some comments here. Let's see. So first of all, I love Outbound's like you were planning toast Ace on a podcast when you knew you were eliminating him. That's so wrong. Okay, let's see. Sharon and Susan says, it's all right. I'm going to be busy for the next week and a half or so. So I was already thinking about quitting if I wasn't eliminated. So that's good to know, Sharon and Susan. That's like, we definitely made the right choice there.
We made the good call.
Yeah. I got to be honest with you. If we eliminated Ace and then you dropped out, I would have been pretty bummed. I wouldn't have been mad, but I would have been bummed.
I would have straight sent Ace an invitation to come back.
Right. Goofy Yuck Yuck, can I be on all future podcasts?
No, I think I'll stay on for right now, Goofy Yuck Yuck.
Let's see. Let's see. Goofy Yuck Yuck, you'll be missed, Sharon and Susan. Outbound, Sharon and Susan, you did an awesome job this season. Could have seen you going all the way. I actually like this idea. All the contestants on the podcast make it really like Survivor and let everyone fight and argue for their spots. guys, if we can schedule this and if everyone is comfortable with being on the podcast, I would absolutely love to make this happen if we could.
Yeah.
I am dead freaking serious.
Yes.
So let's just see what happens there.
Yeah.
Okay. Sharon and Susan, you were an anchor all season. You were fantastic. Truly, you showed so much creativity and leadership. Absolutely agreed. Goofy Yuck Yuck, should I get eliminated so that I can be in a different room where it happens? It's up to you, Goofy Yuck Yuck. All right. So speaking of the final six, let's just go through it, shall we, Mickeyfan? We have some time.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with Ace. Of course, Ace literally just we saw the power of arguments.
Outbound.
Outbound. We can move it up an hour. Outbound, that's no problem. Shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. So Ace, I definitely think that you I still think you're a bit of a dark horse, Ace. I'm not going to lie. I don't necessarily think you're a front runner. Outbound. But
let me just say, I thought Sharon and Susan was a front runner, and look what happened.
Exactly. We'll see what happens. Speaking of Outbound, a lot of pressure is going to be on him. A lot of eyes are going to be on him. I've already called this out. He has POMVP. He has a spot in the final five. He also has the power to change the nomination. So,
buddy up with Outbound, make an alliance.
Goofy Yuck Yuck, I my set run next to Outbound. I think he is playing super hard. He is Ooh. What do you think, Ace?
I like this plan, Outbound. We can we can chat later.
Okay, well, I tell you guys, First of all, Outbound, you're going to have to wait until the actual nominees come in order to change them. So that's all I can say.
Don't be
because Ace, for all you know, Ace might not even be nominated. So, all right.
Don't get nominated, Ace. We don't want to go through this again.
Oh God. I mean, Goofy Yuck Yuck, I hate to say it, but I think at this point everyone's a target.
Yeah.
I mean, really, just by virtue of there's so many good people left,
Yeah.
and there's so much talent and so few people.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nowhere to hide, right?
Yeah. Joke. I'm honestly worried about Jokers. I think he might. I don't know. I'm gonna call it right now. Jokers might meet his match this next round if he's not careful, because I just think there's a lot of competition.
He's fading into the background a bit for me.
I know. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. So yeah, Goofy or Ace, Outbound has given you his word that he will save you if you guys get nominated. However, we've seen on Survivor people give their word about giving immunity idols and stuff, and that doesn't always work out. So, you can't exactly hold Outbound to a contract with that.
No.
Yeah, except for then we go to jury and then we don't vote for him.
Yeah. Space, the final 6 is Outbound, Goofy, Yuck Yuck, Ace, Jokers, Nigel, and Dash. So let's talk about Nigel and Dash. Nigel, I think, is another person like Jokers where he's fighting like hell, but I don't know if he has it in him to make it much further, just given the level of competition.
Yeah, I think that Nigel and Goofy are the only new schoolers left, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so and Goofy clearly knows what they're doing.
Not that Nigel doesn't, of course.
Not that Nigel doesn't, but I have said this since the very beginning that Nigel is our dark horse.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, he has so much raw talent and creativity, but a lot of times he needs someone to kind of nudge it into the right place.
Yeah.
Fair.
I agree. So we'll see what happens. Now let's go down the line of who has been project leader on Prospero.
Sharon and Susan was the Iowa leader. And then Ace was last round, and this round was Dash.
Okay, so it could come down to Outbound, Jokers, Nigel, or Goofy. Now, if Outbound takes it, I'm just going to say this, his special power becomes moot.
Yes.
So, just floating that out there. All right. Let's see. And then, of course, we'll move on to the semifinals after that. And the semifinals, you know what? I'm going to announce the twist right now. You want to announce the twist right now, Mickeyfan? Just to
twist right now.
Let's
get them hyped.
All right. So the twist for the semifinals. You guys are going to go into the semifinals as a final 5. You're going to create one single project as a team, one last Team Prospero effort. What's going to happen is that Team TMNT is going to handpick one member. Is going to handpick one member of the final 5 to move on. Space is going to handpick one member to move on. I literally haven't even asked Space about this yet, but I'm pretty sure he'll be cool with it. So, sorry, Space. I'm just enlisting you in this. Yeah. And then, most importantly, the jury is going to vote on someone to move on. So people in the jury, you guys are still going to have a chance to influence the game even beyond just casting your vote for the winner.
Yeah. I pay attention.
For sure. So, all right. I think that's about it. Ace Astro, well done on verbally saving yourself.
Thank you.
Oh God, Goofy, yuck, yuck. Space, you're my other best friend. Please take me.
Dude, I would not want to be in the spot to do the final project, but that's just me. Just throwing that out there.
All right. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining. This season is amazing. It is like the most Survivor-like So You Want to Be an Imagineer has ever been, and I'm digging it. And I'm honestly going to get a whole PM together for the final 6 to see if we can arrange a way for us all to be on a podcast at the same time.
Yeah.
I want to make that happen.
And it might end up being the final, the top 3 because
For logistics, yes,
Yeah.
but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Oh, right, the next project. Duh. Wow. Mickeyfan, go ahead and announce it.
so Team Prospero is going to create a bowling alley, a themed bowling alley. Here's the twist: it has to be themed to an IP.
A single IP. No
IP.
MCU bullshit. All right? No cinematic universe, a single IP. So if you want to go MCU, you got to be like, all right, Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give you guys a freebie right now. If you guys do the beloved cult classic on the N64, Milo's Astrolanes, you're just going to get an instant 50 out of 50 from me. I mean, the project could be total shit, but since it's Milo's Astrolanes, I'll give you a 50 out of 50. Please do Milo's Astrolanes.
This is no longer a joke. This is the serious request. Please do.
Yeah, please do Milo's Astrolanes. I'm asking you guys to at least look into it.
If you do Milo's Astro Lanes, I'm going to give you a 0 out of 50.
Oh, God.
The perfect balance.
All right. So I will have the prompt and the brainstorming thread up in just a minute for you guys. Y'all are awesome. This is freaking amazing. Space says it will be a gladiator. Oh, God. Is the Great Gatsby still a thing this round? No, it's not, Space. It would be a gladiator royale to determine the winner. I absolutely agree.
I wouldn't say no to seeing y'all pull off a Great Gatsby bowling alley, but
Nah, we're doing Flintstones. Easy peasy.
Oh, God, please don't.
2 out of 10 creativity.
I agree. Much like Tiki's friend tears, these requests of Tiki's are much more real than any of us had expected. All right. And with that, oh God, Yogi Bear Part 2.
Oh, there we go.
Goofy, if that happens, I will eliminate you myself.
Won't even need the podcast. It's
Right, exactly. Don't you dare do fucking Yogi Bear, whatever you do. I like, seriously, just don't. Just don't. Oh God, now everyone's, oh no.
Yuck have been a great competitor. We thought you were the front runner. Get the hell out of here.
All right, well, Team TMNT has some serious deliberations to do over Goofy Yuck Yuck's future in this game. Have a good night, everybody.